Before we go through all the components, let me try and explain to you, or to the people that don't understand what KVM is, what it actually does. In a nutshell, it basically allows you to have two PCs running at the same time, using the same keyboard and mouse without unplugging it from one PC and plugging them into another PC, just by pressing a button, or in this case, using a remote. So you can switch from one PC to another and use the same keyboard and mouse and use the same monitors. Again, without unplugging the monitors to plug into one PC or into the other. All you need is one of these. Yes, and they work extremely well. I've been using one for years and I love it. And I might be changing over to this one, because the one I have now, that does 3 PCs. Well, this one will only do 2 PCs, but if it's as good as what they say it is, and I think it is, I might be switching over. Now, there is a downside to this one, which I will explain later on in the video. So you need to watch the video to find out what the downside is. It may be not a downside, but something you need to consider if you're buying this model. It might not work for everyone, depending on what you're connecting it with. Say, for instance, you have a laptop and a PC, and you want to connect 2 of them to this, or both of them to this. It might not be compatible. Now, there are workarounds, so keep watching. I'll try and explain later on in the video. So with that, you've got the idea now what a KVM switch is. This little baby. Yes, it allows you to run 2 PCs at the same time using the same keyboard and mouse and the same monitors without swapping. Right, got that out of the way? So let's get on with it. So it comes with a remote control. You might want to use it, you might not. I've already got one of these remote controls exactly like this, and they're quite easy to use. You know, got numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4. You've got a search thing on there, option, which works again very well. Yeah, very good. Oh, it needs batteries as well. It didn't come with batteries, which surprised me actually. Although, you know, I've got plenty of batteries anyway. So it comes with in this case, a UK plug with a power bank or power brick, depends how you want to call it. Yeah, it's quite a big one. And the idea of having this separate to this is, one, to reduce the size, of course, and the second one, reduce the heat that goes inside here, because this will get quite warm and produce its own heat, and it's outside the case, so it should stay cooler. So I'll get them out of the way. We have a DisplayPort to DisplayPort cable. You might want to use that, you might not. We have, let me get her out, USB Type-C connection to USB Type-C connection. You probably might want to use that. We also have 1 KVM cable. That will go in the back of your KVM into there, and so will that HDMI connection. And that does up to 4K, which is very nice. And then on the other end, you have, again, HDMI and USB. Brilliant. Easy so far, yeah? Now, to the actual unit itself. On the front, we have a headphone socket. Very nice. So if you want to plug in your headphones or maybe some speakers, you can plug it straight into there. We have USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports. So USB standard size and USB Type-C connection. Indicator for A, 1 and 2. And 1 and 2 for B. IR sensor for your remote control. Now this button, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it allows you to switch from A to B PC. I'm pretty sure it is. And we have an on-off switch. Now on the side we have an air vent. On the other side, which I quite like actually, we have a little fan with TeSmart's little logo on it. I thought it was a nice little touch. Let me know in the comments what you think. On the back we have a DC 20 volt. We have standard USBs. Now these are for your keyboard and mouse. It doesn't need to be 3.2 or anything like that. It just needs to be standard because it's just going to control a keyboard and mouse. Again, we have USB 3.2, but these are Gen 1, not Gen 2. Again, they should work perfectly and shouldn't have any issues with them whatsoever. We have a service connection up there. We have network connection, so that will be your 1 gigabit connection, not 10 gigabit. two HDMI's out, so you've got output B, output A. We have PC2 input display port or input HDMI connection. The USB, which I showed you earlier. We have also PC1. Now this is where you've got to be a little bit careful. We have USB type C connection. Now this produces power as well, so perfect if you want to charge up, say for instance your laptop or your telephone, you can plug it straight in there, and that does 40 gigabits per second, which is blistering fast. And also we have another one, exactly the same, but this will do, say for instance, your laptop. Brilliant. So not only will it power it up, but it will give you connectivity. Perfect. That's what I said earlier about, you need to be a little bit careful. Now, there are some workarounds here. You can get adapters, so you can convert the USB Type C connection to a HDMI connection or even a display connection. But you will need to obviously buy them parts. They're not that expensive. If you're buying something like this, you probably want to invest in that anyway if you haven't got a USB 3.2 connection to give you a maximum performance. You need something like that, at least 3.2. Not only does it need to send signal from A to B and do transfer, but it also needs to be able to do display. So that's why you're probably better off making sure your laptop has 3.2 on the Type C connection. Okay, understand? Yeah, easy? Easy peasy lemon squeezy so far? Oh, I forgot to mention, on the bottom it has some little rubber feet, which will stop it sliding about. Now, let's set her up and see exactly how she all works. Right, so I have it up and running. Now, I am going to show you how I've plugged it all in, and it is a little bit on the messy side with all the cabling because it's not a permanent fixture. It is only for this video at the moment. Like I said earlier, I might use it all the time, I might not. We will see, because I am doing some changes again. So, it is working, and on this PC, which is the one that is running the USB Type C connection, yes, I'm running it on a PC, not a laptop or tablet, on my PC. And also, if you're interested in how I've done that, I will show you in my little book. Wherever it is, I'll put it down somewhere. Oh yeah, it's over there. Right, so, let me quickly show you. So that is PC1, working fine. Press number 2, goes over. Now, I did notice there is a little bit of delay before you can actually use the mouse. Don't ask me why, but there is. So, there it is, comes up there, and that one can run at proper 4K. So it says up there, 380/40 by 2160. Whereas the other one, being that it's a Thunderbolt connection, USB Type C Thunderbolt connection, that one can only run at 2160 by 1440, which is 2K or 3K. Not 100% sure on that one. Some people say it's 3K and some people say it's 2K. So it's 2 or 3K. So that is it. So you can see it's working. What I've done, like I said, it's a little bit messy, and I will show you my PCs all plugged in. So what I've done, I've used one of the USBs that are connected in here for my sound setup, which is over here. So that connects to my speakers and that gives me my audio, or I can actually go through the speakers actually on the actual monitor itself, but I'd rather not anyway because the sound's not very good, but it's gorgeous out of them speakers. So like I said, all you need to do on here, number 2, which is the furthest PC, like I said I will show you in a second, switches over. There is a little bit delay with the mouse. Come on mouse, where are you? There she is. Yeah, turns up, and that works on both. They go cross, yeah. Works perfectly, no issues with it whatsoever. Like I said, the only thing I was a little bit concerned with is how long it takes for the mouse to actually connect it or kick in. There it is, there. Different colour on this one. And yeah, easy to set up, easy to sort out your screen displays, and it will remember it apparently. So if you unplug it all again and plug it all back in, it should in theory remember it. Now I did notice on the actual unit itself, there's a little RGB lighting at the bottom. And also, you can control it by pressing this orange button. So that goes over to 1 or 2. In this case, number 2. And it actually tells you what one it's on. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Or 2, 2 at this point. You can, using these settings, I have noticed, you can select it to just work on one display just by pressing A or B or C. But I'm not going to play about that because I don't want to mess it up. Now, let me show you how I set it all up. And like I said, it's a little bit on the messy side, so don't judge me for that, because it was just to show you it actually working. And that fan on the side is very quiet. If it's actually working, oh yeah, I can feel it going through. Yeah, it's very quiet, so you won't be disappointed on that. Again, you can turn it off. Let me quickly show you. So it's powered off. Turn it back on again. Give it a few seconds. It will take a few seconds. There you go. Easy. Again, very easy to use, whether you're using this or just a touch button on the side to switch it. Me personally, I would have it close enough so I can just press a button. And this one here, the TeSmart, this old one here, that will do 3 PCs at any one time. Whereas this new one, does 2. But it can do it at 4K. That's something to bear in mind. And it works really well. Nice and quiet. Right, now, let me show you how I wired it up in the back of the actual unit. I'm going to show you how I wired it up in the back of the actual PC, but I am going to show you, if you're interested in running Thunderbolt 4 on a PC that has Thunderbolt 4 and you can't get it to work, I will show you how that works in this video. Alright, so keep watching. Before I show you the back, let me just quickly do the front. So we have a wireless little dongle for my keyboard and mouse, and that just plugged in the front, so there's no cables there, which is really nice, so it keeps it nice and tidy. We have, starting from the left, we have the mains connection, we have the mouse and keyboard connections, but I don't need them because I've got the little dongle. 2 USBs, which I showed you earlier, which I have a connection plugged in to give me full functionality, and also that plugs into my monitor, or to one of my monitors, which has 4 USBs on the back, so that it allows you to plug in, say, extras like microphone, webcam, stuff like that, which I've got plugged in. We have the 2 HDMI connections, and that is for both monitors. They work extremely well, easy enough, just plug and play. We have Ethernet, which I've unplugged so you can get a better view of what's going on. So your Ethernet will go in there, and then that goes into your router or wherever you're plugging it into. And your first PC, it has DisplayPort plugged in. Now you can buy an adapter. If you don't have a DisplayPort on your actual graphics card or PC or whatever you're using, you can buy an adapter to convert that from DisplayPort to HDMI and vice versa. We have the HDMI that came with it, that is plugged into the bottom one, and the USB connection that also came with it and plugged into there. So they are all connected to one PC, which is the one furthest away from me. Now over here is your Thunderbolt connection, which is the cable they sent me. That's why I've moved everything over here, because the cable's not quite long enough for where I've got it, so I had to move everything over for that to reach, and that is a Thunderbolt connection. Now if you're going to be doing something like this and this cable isn't long enough, you must make sure it is a Type C Thunderbolt connection. It normally has the Thunderbolt little signature on the top of it to say it is a Thunderbolt. Now that works extremely well. I have no issues with it whatsoever. It's nice and tidy, as you can see. You've got a headphone socket there. I've got my mouse and keyboard plugged in there. We have a spare USB Type C connection there. It tells you what you're running or what computer you're running. We are running computer number 1, which is the USB Type C connection or the Thunderbolt connection. IR connection there, and that is for your remote control We had the switch there, changing it from A to B or from B to A, whatever you want to call it, and we have an on-off button that you have to hold in. Now, I don't know if that can change colours by pressing that. It may do. Looking at that, if you just press it quickly, it seems to change colours, which is quite cool. I quite like that. It's just a nice little touch from TeSmart. Yeah, thank you for that, TeSmart. Now, let's see if I can explain to you how I've done the wiring to get the Thunderbolt connection to work through my PC. This is the ProArt Z790 Creator Wi-Fi Edition. That's my motherboard, yes. So you need something that says it can do Thunderbolt 4, which this can. Now, what you need to do, this may sound a little bit complicated, but it's quite simple, is you have to have a display port out, coming out of your graphics card and going back into your PC. I know. So it comes out your graphics card and into your motherboard's connection. And that will give you one display. So you need to do that twice if you want dual monitor. So display to display, or HDMI, depending on your connections, and the same again, display for display. So there's two connections up there, so you need to plug two leads in to get dual, something to bear in mind. Now, I have tried this on my front USB Type-C, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And you need to plug in a Thunderbolt cable. Again, something to bear in mind, it must be a Thunderbolt cable, it must be a certified one, or it might not work. Plug it into either that USB Type-C connection, which is Thunderbolt, or that one, because they're both Thunderbolt. So I have two. I'm lucky, yes, I know. Two of them. And you need to plug that into your monitors, or a monitor. But in my case, it goes into the actual switch, the KVM switch. So you plug that into your KVM switch, and that will transfer it onto two monitors, which is what it's done. But you can just use a single monitor like it's showing now. Now, before you jump into actually doing this, you must turn the PC off. It is not hot swappable, so the PC must be shut down, yes. Don't need to unplug it from the mains or anything like that, but you must have it turned off. Give it a few seconds, and then you can plug in your leads like that, and then like that into your KVM switch, this baby over here, and that will give you your display. The same as if you was using a laptop or MacBook, whether it be a MacBook or Windows, whatever, as long as it's got a Thunderbolt 4 connection on it, it should just work. You won't have to do that on your laptop, but if you're using a PC, you will have to do that. Does that make sense? Is that easy to understand? Yeah? Don't forget to pause it and you can have a quick look. Right, let's get back to finishing the video, shall we? Right, before we carry on with the video, I just want to point out that I did lose some of my audio, so it might sound a little bit different from the beginning part of the video. You might think, oh, he changed microphones. Yes, I did, because one of them failed while I was recording, and I didn't want to have to do it all again. So, you might be wondering, who is this for? Well, ideally someone who does video editing, someone who uses a laptop and a PC. As you can see, I use two PCs and it does work. Ideally, it's really designed for people who use laptops and a PC at the same time, so you can switch from A to B or from B to A, as I showed you. Not only that, I didn't go through all the functionality of the actual controller or the remote control. You can actually get it to show on a single screen PC 1 and PC 2, or laptop 1 and PC, or vice versa. So you could have both of them showing at the same time. I'm not sure how that works with the actual mouse though. I didn't really go into that one, but yeah, it's something you can play about with. Now, it is also designed for people who do things like live streaming and need to flick from A to B. Again, perfect for someone like that. Press a button, it goes from one PC to another PC, or really laptops, or like I showed you. Let me know in the comments whether you find that little hack that I showed you useful or not. It'd be interesting to find out if people didn't know about that, about, you know, running the display port into the display port on your motherboard. Yes, you might not have known about that. it did take me a little while to figure that one out. It's only because it was in my book and someone mentioned it online ages ago and said, oh, you know, you need to do this in order to get your USB type C connection to work. No, but it's actually in my book, in my motherboard book. I will put links in the video description, but if you're looking for something like this, but say for instance you want PC to PC, check out their website because they also do ones that just do PC to PC or PC to laptop using HDMI or DisplayPort. Or if you're one of those people who have more than, say for instance, 2 PCs, say for instance 3 or 4, they also do on their website a KVM switch that does 3 and 4, and it looks very similar to this. So, you know, you may think, oh, is it going to look so good? They do other designs, but I've seen one that looks exactly like this, and I thought, oh, I like that. Slightly different on the front. It's got some different controls. It's actually got an LED display on it as well, and I thought, oh, I hope they send me that one. I'd love to do a review on that one. 4 PCs all plugged in at the same time. That would be amazing. So if you're listening, TeSmart, yes, I'd be interested in doing another review on a 4 PC KVM switch. 4. So with that, yeah, definitely gets my thumbs up. It looks nice. It's quite sleek. I like the LED displays on the front. I don't think you can change them. It's set, but when you change from 1 to 2, the lights do change slightly. And I thought, that's quite a nice little touch that is. I quite like that. It's nice and quiet, even though it's got a fan on it. It's very quiet. I'm not even sure if it's on at the moment. I don't think it is. So it's nice and quiet, even when the fan is on. And it just works. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So with that, check out links in the video description. It does help the channel keep on growing. If you do like any of my videos, you know what to do. Subscribe, click on the bell for notifications, and give any video that you enjoyed the thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching. Ching ching.